Hi, I'm Harold Henson, and this short video is in requirement for Project Zero of the CS50 web programming course that I'm taking with EDX. Those of you who may have stumbled upon this video by accident may know me as a WordPress guy, but you can see at 62 I still take lifelong learning seriously. This style of web design that I'm learning here will have huge implications in my line of work, as it will become highly feasible to automate the reporting of economic data. I'm recording the video in November of 2018 with the screen capture program Kazam and speaking into a microphone at the same time. There may be some background hum, but overall I hope that it's of good quality. The presentation will consist of 3 parts. First is just a brief overview, and then I'll go into detailed discussion, emphasizing how I covered each one of the detailed project requirements, and then I'll have a bit of a wrap-up. But overall, the structure of this video is built around the requirements for the project for this course. First, the overview. We are looking at the main screen of the website here. Basically, it's in Mozilla, the browser, and it's HTML code enhanced with CSS. It's basically built around the requirements that we introduce ourselves to other members of the course. So now I'll go through the details of this just in detail. Although the discussion will be quite detailed, if you really want to validate how I did this, the README file will have quite detailed discussion of what links to what and that kind of stuff. Well, okay, so the first discussion, we need 4 pages. Well, obviously I have the opening page here, and then there's a menu down here that allows you to see the other 3 pages. So I have an introduction, and then I divide my life into 3 phases. So if we click on youth, there's the youth page, we hit return, we're back to the main page. Then we hit adult, and there's the adult page, hit return again, and then we can do the same for retired. And so you can see there's 4 pages here. Now the next requirement is to give some examples of some basic HTML. The ordered list is what I call my bucket list. So you can see up here there's a bucket list to continue to be a good life partner to my the love of my life, who's not making any noise when I make this video, and to learn Python, and also to attain spiritual enlightenment. And then we're required to do a table. So rather than a list, I have a table that's in the use section, and you can see there's basically 2 columns here. So I use kind of a table-like structure to show this, and I put it in monotype, which is important for economists, but it also makes it easier to see that this really is a grid type table. And of course, you saw the image in the first at the landing page. That really is me, and those of you who know me will attest to that. Okay, style sheet. To show the style sheet, I have to go into the editor I used, and there's an HEH style.css. And that has all the basic stuff you expect to see in a style sheet. We were required to have 5 properties and 5 selectors. I think that's pretty self-evident that I covered more than covered that. On a more detailed note, we had to provide proof that we used an ID. Well, I created an ID called Dream, and it's a background color. And so to prove it actually works, we can go to youth HTML, and you'll see that I invoke it in the H1 for youth. So if I go up here, you'll notice that the heading there has the purple color as a background, whereas the other incidents of H1 you don't see you just see a white background. The other case is a class selector. I created a class called Special. So the Special class is just a way to really emphasize some things, a sentence if I want to. So it's actually a paragraph called special, and it's in bold and it's 12. So if we go to youth again, where I use this example, you can see that this sentence here is special, developed an interest in computers at an early age, whereas this is just regular text. This highlight here is just actually a link to academic history, which actually conflicts with Kazam, but does work regularly. You can believe me if you want to or not. Okay, so the next point was to the use of the at media. Here again, I appear to have some sort of conflict, so I did include it in the code, but the at media screen max width feature apparently is not compatible with Bootstrap, so although it's in the code, I can't demonstrate it here. So we go to the next area where we're going to demonstrate more the use of Bootstrap itself, which is causing some trouble with other things. If you go to the CSS file, I'll just whiz through that. You can look at it in more detail, but I actually have the CSS is actually included at the tops up here as an href. I won't dwell on it too much because I have a long password. Even though it's a free account, it has to be used now. Okay, so the last point is the SAS/SCSS. This is the more advanced features, and these actually work quite well. I put it into here, and I start with this code right here. And I'm focusing on tables because being an economist, that's a really big thing. And here you can see I'm imposing that monospace kind of code on it on the fonts because it makes it a lot easier for people who are staring at numbers all day to spot mistakes. And so one of the requirements is I am using a variable, so I assign a $sign font size to describe the default font size, and I actually use the arithmetic feature, which is extremely cool, to make the table headers twice the size of the rest of the table, and then the footnotes for the table. Well, in the grand tradition of most business intelligence, the footnotes are in italics. And so we go here, and this is a table of family members, not economic data, but it's still, you see how the style comes through with a lot of power. The monospace works perfectly, and this will make clients happy. The footnotes are in italics, which is considered professional. And the headers are twice the size, at least, of the compared to the actual table data. So overall, I think I'm successful in covering at least 95% of the material, and that remaining 5%, I think I have a good reason not to deal with it, and so. I'll just close right now and save it as it is.